It's all about the four-wheel power with this week's Lucas Oil On the Edge episode. We're taking you on a four-wheel adventure at the historic Indy Mile for the four-wheel jamboree. Class 6 mud drags and the super fast modified tough trucks are on, and the action starts now.
Go! Got it tacked up, and if you get too close, you're getting cracked up. Stone cold when I roll, coming out of the hole. Get back, cause I'm out of control. I'm on the edge.
Welcome to Lucas Oil On the Edge. Ken Stout and Brian Olson ready to bring you all the action from the motorsports capital of the world. It's the Four-Wheel Jamboree Nationals powered by Geico Power Sports here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Brian, we're about to have some good times.
Right here at the State Fairgrounds here in Indianapolis, what most people call the Monster Mile. But today we're only going to be using a couple hundred feet as we'll go side by side with these wild mud machines, Ken.
Yeah, don't mistake that short distance for not being able to see plenty of speed. As we well know, Rob Klepper, these things are loaded up with plenty of horsepower. The big dogs have brought their A-game to play hardball.
The Class 6 Unlimited. It's pretty simple, fellas. That's what it means, unlimited. Right here, all the power. You can have as many cubic inches as you want. You can have as much horsepower as you want. You can put a blower on it, supercharge it, turbocharge it. You want to put NOS on it? No problem. That's what the Unlimited class is all about. 150-inch maximum wheelbase. Very big race cars. Veritrack tires on the front, but as we go back to the rear of the car, that's where the paddle tires are. The scoop tires, that's where you get all your traction, because guess what? We're going to make this 150-foot run today at the Indy Mile in about 2 seconds. The other thing that's mandatory in the Class 6, all four wheels must have brakes, because after that 2 seconds, boys, you got to slow down.
Yeah, and watching these guys stop can be as much fun as watching them take off. Round one action, Jason Massey and Todd James. And look at the launch right off the bat. All four corners digging. These things are bad to the bone.
Todd James, look at him right side of your screen. Keep in mind now, unlike drag racing, Ken, these drivers are running against the clock, and that is nothing more than just a pure perfect run there.
Next pair, Jamie Boyd, and he'll line up alongside Chuck Cordy III.
The old Bud Missile coming up, baby. Good truck.
And just a little tire spinning. When those things get traction, it is amazing to watch them launch. How about a 189?
Quick time of the round here at round number one, and you can see Cordy watch the front end of this four-wheel drive machine. Oh, man, that is a ride, and it lasts less than 2 seconds, baby.
Aguilar and OSTEEN up next, and Dad's Dirty Bird.
Look at that, baby. No wheelie bar in the back of that one for AW as he goes 229. Watch it in replay. One of the very few machines, Ken, that comes on without the wheelie bar. And there's our old replica of the 55 Ford T-Bird. Problems right up the line.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a dry line problem right up the line. You can actually hear some nasty stuff in there as well. Good job on the other side, though. Next up, Joel Coolidge and Josh Donald, the second helper.
Wow. Joel puts on a pretty good run there. So does Josh at 204 to a 211.
So just carrying the front end nicely there. All about staying straight as well. I mean, both of those tires have to be planted equally. Oh!
Wow!
Maybe some wheelie bars are in order there for Keith Perry. Watch this thing almost flip over backwards. Woo! Rear tires. We got to get him in a wheel stand competition.
No doubt about it, man. You usually see it on pavement, this time on dirt. Wow.
Well, to run these things is about like shooting a gun. You aim it, get it straight as you can go, you stab it, and you hope you come out where you aim.
It's like sitting in a recliner at home and getting hit in the chest with a 50-pound second dog food.
If you take off right, it feels like somebody smacked you in the back with a 2x4.
Car gets a little out of shape, you have your hands full.
So I like sitting at a stop sign getting hit in the back by somebody doing about 60.
It really messes up going to theme parks because roller coasters really are boring.
Wow, boring roller coasters, 50-pound back to dog food.
Candidate dog food, no less. Whoa, man, huge wheel stand. And Cross just carries it completely out of bounds, but he never lifted. Talk about a showman.
Look at that baby, way up in the air. Unfortunately, he goes too far past the boundaries. You'll watch it right here. Look at the boundary markers right there. Boom. Hits those babies, crosses over the top, and his ET will not count, but a wild ride.
And he was thinking, I got this. Bling and Barber ready to go. Back in black. Good side-by-side battle there. Difference just about 0.06 of a second.
196 and a 203, and the closest matchup so far, but it's all about shutting off that elapsed time switch.
Next up will be Scott Starsky and Mike Lemikin.
Whoa!
And keep in mind, this is really against the clock. You're racing the clock, not necessarily the competitor beside you.
194 for the machine closest to the camera, and again a picture-perfect run. Watching it in replay, right down the middle of that muddy lane.
It's time to open the Lucas Oil On the Edge vault and take a look at some vintage OTE footage.
This is going to be a real dogfight because the Junkyard Dogs are the defending national champions. They came to this racetrack a year ago, all rookies for the most part, and won the national championship. Oh, what a nasty hit. That was Ed Booger Walker. Now, Booger Walker is definitely a crasher. He's headed towards the wall right now. Look out. That car's burst into flames right now. So Booger Walker on fire. Let's see what's going to happen. The red flag could come out. Booger's coming out of that car in a hurry as it's on fire. That's unusual for Ed Booger Walker to have a car blow up on him like that. He is considered one of the finest car builders in the business. And, well, at least he's safe. He's out of the way.
This Lucas Oil On the Edge telecast is being brought to you by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world. General Tire, anywhere is possible. Geico Power Sports, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
Welcome back to Indianapolis, Indiana. You're watching Lucas Oil On the Edge. We're at the Four-Wheel Jamboree Nationals. Time for round 2. And how do you get into that if you lost?
Yeah, you got to pay 65 bones. That's what you got to do to get back in. If you were one of the slower qualified machines, you got to pay your way in. You might as well call it the buyback round, baby.
And here we go one more time. Chuck Cordy, a 195. Real solid pass there over Boyd.
Second time that Chuck has run in the 1 second zone. He's the guy to beat so far with 2 back-to-back sub-2-second runs.
Olszewski and Snarsky. There's actually 2 Olszewskis in the field, Frank and Tino.
Man, Snarsky makes a picture-perfect run, and the quickest run of the event, 1.860, Ken.
Thing was a rocket ship off the starting line. Everything perfect. Wanders to the left just a little bit, but other than that, it was dead on the money. Here comes the Dirty Bird. Mark OSTEEN, the man behind the wheel here, sits in front of the power plant. It's going to go for Rob.
Guys, your current points leader, Mark OSTEEN. Round number 1, not too pretty out there. What happened, man?
I don't know. We're going to change a battery in it. There's something going on with the ignition or something. I just needed to make a full pass, hopefully, to win the points. So I had to keep burping the throttle just to keep it running to get through the time clock to get that 20 points. So hopefully it'll stay together.
And we heard the misfires. We thought something had gone wrong in the driveline, but it was not. It was ignition.
He found it all right. 191. Keep in mind, these ignition systems don't have any alternating power on them. These things are based on battery power only, and he found the problem, obviously.
Donald and Coolidge. Coolidge in the Nightmare 3, Donald in the second helping.
Couple wild-looking machines going side by side. Whoa, right toward the center stripe, and Donald goes 190. Coolidge's run will not count.
Yeah, Coolidge just kind of squeezed on the throttle here, and then it went off to the center, like you said. I'll tell you, right beside him, man, at 190, a solid effort out here in round number 2. Yeah, that's a real ugly run. Got down there in those ruts.
Man, there's exactly why. Front end in the air, left rear tire took a little more bite, shot into the center stripe. Sean Barber, Steve Shear coming up next in Tickle Pink.
Your General Tire eye on the leader. Both guys stabbed the throttle. The better of the two, though, is Sean Barber with a 192. And round 2, we're seeing some quicker times.
Seeing a lot more 1 second runs. And look at that thing hang the front end way up in the air.
Excellent stuff. A lot of fun to watch. And your General Tire Classic Mud Drags final results.
Class 6 in the books here at the Indy Mile, and Scott Snarsky, you laid it down. 186 with an O, a very fast time. You're kind of sweating it out there towards the end of the runs, though.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of fast cars here, and we're worried about it every time. I mean, there's nobody here that can't make that pass.
You're from Illinois, so we can keep the trophy here in the Midwest, but to talk about what it means to you to win here at Indianapolis.
Oh, Indy's the last race of the year for this event, and it's always the biggest, baddest race there is. All the boys are here.
Congratulations, man. Go celebrate.
Well, thank you very much.
Congratulations to Scott Snarsky and the Paperboy Express Class 6 Mud Dragster. He'll go to the payout window to collect his winnings, but don't you go anywhere because we've got the toughest trucks on the property ready to go head to head, so come on back.
You're watching Lucas Oil on the Edge, and this is visions of Pete Rose days ago, man. That's how you slide one into second. Nice job. Just some of the fun they have here at the four-wheel jamboree.
All right, guys, here we go. Modified tough trucks are up next, and guess what? Yeah, it's starting to rain here at the Indy Fairgrounds. That's not good. Going to be pretty crazy out on the race course, but these trucks are pretty awesome. Naturally aspirated engines, a stock Jeep or truck. Run on gas, run on diesel. When the modification comes into plan, what you can do is you can mess with the shock kits. A lot of shock and coilover kits allowed. You can go up to 14 inches of travel. Those DOT tires going to work for you because you know what? A lot of big jumps here in the Indy Mile.
Brian, I don't think we've ever run this thing that wasn't raining.
That's just exactly what I was going to say as we take a real quick look at the track descriptions. Now, both drivers will start in the same spot, go opposite directions, and make their way to the finish line, which, by the way, is also the starting line. And you are right. I never remember coming here where it didn't rain, man.
And these trucks are really solid. Some fast equipment here, as you can see, a full field here in round number one.
The tough trucks, some of the most popular, as Jim Kendall and Jason Daniels will start it off. There they go. They leave the start line. One goes right, one goes left. Keep in mind now that we're running on wet pavement, but we're running on dirt jumps. It is something to see. I'm not kidding. It's a riot.
Jim Kendall out of the short course off-road ranks, ran in a pro light truck for a number of years. You can see him trying to negotiate that U-turn, very critical portion. Look at that truck fly, it is perfect.
Yeah, that is a nice looking run right there going on as Rod Peterson goes 33.78. Here's Crystal DeJurin and Sonny Durman.
And Dorman in a truck called the Afterburner. And again, it's all about negotiating that U-turn as quickly as possible. And if you've got the good suspension, all the trucks fly about the same.
Oh, great side-by-side match up here.
Good throttle control. Both guys checking up right there at the very end to keep the front end underneath them. But good throttle control coming off in the wet on the pavement. They can blow the tires off these things.
Troy DeJurin comes up next. There's that Bud Light machine right there. And I'm going to tell you something. Oh. Buddy, that'll leave a mark on that chin, won't it?
And I got to tell you, that's another. It says Jim's Place on the side of that, and that's a Candell-backed machine at Toyota. He didn't fly that gully quite hard enough, and it cost him.
Ken Peterson, the Intimidator, cashing out Steve Cash. I'll tell you this, these are some of the most popular trucks at the Jamboree. You know, we've just gone through watching that side-by-side racing. But Peterson is the quicker of the two here at 34.13. But the most popular trucks for the most part are right here. Bubba.
Yeah, you gotta love it. MacGyver over there beside him, but Bubba was out here getting it done. Here comes MacGyver on the other side. Not quite as quick in the front half of the course.
Bubba, that DTS machine, Roger Cardo, Flowmaster picks up a round win here.
And there's a look at the results after round number one.
We love to hear from our fans. Go to Facebook.com and become a fan of Lucas Oil on the Edge. Then post your comments about this Lucas Oil on the Edge episode. Competition and dedication are character traits for all drivers. Last year's modified tough truck was disappointing for Mark Noto, who finished in second place behind Jeff Diedick. Rob is at the track with last year's runner-up.
Currently fourth in the points, ran second here at the Indy Fairgrounds 1 year ago. Mark Noto, you don't get a chance to go for the win here today. It's been a crazy weekend for you. I know you had a good truck here on Friday, but what happened come Friday night and then into Saturday?
After qualifying Friday, ended up feeling some pains. Saturday morning came around, the pains were still there. We went to the hospital and they said that I had to go into surgery and get my appendix removed.
So you have your appendix out, they sew you back up, you come out here, and of course you wanted to race though, correct?
Before this race started, I was sitting third in qualifying, so I definitely had a good chance of winning this race. And it's just a no-go. It's not worth the chance of internal bleeding and whatnot.
Smart decision, something racers usually don't do.
No, I know. I've done it before with kidney stones on a number of occasions, and it isn't no fun at all.
All right, here we go, round 2. Scholes and Daniels ready to go at it. You're on board with Ray Scholes, courtesy of Herculiner.
That is a good truck right there.
Good shot there. You can see him really looking around. No Hans devices here, just a neck collar and a helmet, and you're good to go. It really allows these guys to turn their head and look around, and when you're making that U-turn, and you're driving a truck sideways, it helps that vision out lock.
Well, unlike the previous event we watched, this baby is first to the finish line. The times mean absolutely nothing. You got to get to the stripe first, and Scholes does just that, and he will make it now to the round of 4.
Peterson and Dorman are our next 2 competitors, the Bandit and the Afterburner.
Much like drag racing, Ken, the better lever off the starting line has a little more advantage when it comes to that finish line stripe, and these 2 leave dead even.
Some guys like to pitch that thing in there and try to get it to rotate. Other guys take a little wider exit and squeeze on the throttle. Either way, man, it's all about getting back there across that finish line. Again, you can see how they struggle getting these things turned around.
I tell you, on that very first turn, the Afterburner was right next to that tire. I mean, right next to that tire. And that's a big advantage. The shorter the turn you make, the shorter you make that racetrack, the better off you are right about here when you pick up the win, as Sonny Norman does at 33.68.
We'll bring our next pair to the starting line. And if push bumpers are what you're into, then Thomas White is your man because he's got a big one up there.
I tell you what, got the big Jeep, and then there's old Bubba, the crowd favorite, baby, that DTS truck alongside, and he leads the starting line like a shot, baby.
Yeah, he really had a lot more traction leaving that starting line. Checks up just a little bit like you need to on that particular jump, but that Jeep is coming back. White is making a run at it.
Yeah, all credit to the Jeep, but keep in mind that Jeep at a shorter wheelbase should have an advantage going around those tires and making those turns. But right there on the straightaway, it's all about Bubba. The Jeep much smoother on the jump right there again. Bubba's got the steam, though, Ken, to take the win.
No doubt about it. Bubba's got plenty of horsepower in there, so he'll take this one easily. Roger Cardo and Bubba gets the win.
We've got more great On the Edge racing coming your way. Don't go anywhere.
This Lucas Oil On the Edge telecast is being brought to you by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world. General Tire, anywhere is possible. Geico Power Sports, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
Welcome back to the four-wheeled extravaganza here on OTE. The man to beat today in the modified tough truck competition is Ray Scholes. He has the lowest ET in round 1 and round 2 with a 32.97 in the previous round. His competitor, Sonny Dorman's last round time was 33.68. He definitely has his work cut out for him here in the semifinals.
Guys, Ray Scholes, your 2009 champion. The Trail City 4x4 has lane choice. It looks like he's going to choose the left lane. Now, last year, he lost to Margnoto in the semis. He's in the semis here in 2010, trying to move on to the finals.
This will be a great matchup here, man. These trucks are the ones, these 4, Peterson, Cardo, Dorman, and that beautiful Ray Scholes Trail City machine. Wow, a jump.
He checked up just in time, I believe, and he will not get penalized. He actually penalized himself whenever he kind of double clutched that thing, put himself behind right off the bat.
Unlike drag racing, these things do not have photocell beams and a Christmas tree. And Ray Scholes, just like he's on a Sunday drive, here we go.
By the way, that was a manual tear-off he was using.
Absolutely. He just wipes that face, man, and away he goes. And the Trail City 4x4 once again, no stranger, Ray SCOLES to the late round victories, goes 32.97, and he will go to the final.
Yeah, solid time there. Afterburner got in trouble right here. He launched off of that jump sideways. It cost him big time. Really lucky he didn't slide over there into that stack of cars that the monster trucks are using. And ended his shot at the final.
Guys, semifinal number 2, Roger Cardo, unable to make it to the starting line. His truck would simply not start. So Ken Peterson going to make a bye run. If he completes the bye run, he'll move on into the finals against Raymond SCOLES. Going to be fun here, as it looks like starting to lighten up here at the Indy Mile.
SCOLES ran that 32.97, so Peterson gets a shot at it here, Ken. Looks like he's on a pretty nice looking run.
Yeah, and I know it looks a little funny to lift up that inside rear tire, but with a solid rear axle like that, it's not a bad way to get that truck to rotate if you can spring it right. Of course, Bubba not able to make the call here. Here is the final. Ray SCOLES and Ken Peterson.
33.09 to 32.97 in the semis. So it'll be a great matchup.
And again, you can kind of see in the background there that inside rear tire picking up. And I'm telling you, he gets that truck rotated really good. He's tough to beat there in the U-turn section. Look at that thing turn,
he's got that working perfect.
When both rear tires are planted on the ground, it makes the truck want to push straight. And needless to say, he's lifting that one up nicely.
This is a great final round. We could have a big upset here.
Well, a little tire spin could cost him. Both guys easy over the last jump. And Ken Peterson is going to steal the win.
33.09, exactly what he ran in the semifinal round. As we watch in the replay, Ken, they lead the starting line perfectly together.
Yeah, really nice stuff here. Both guys checking up a little bit. And then the turning, which we talked about being so critical, this guy did an awesome job of. Right here, though, he gets way sideways. A couple times fishtails it, loses traction. And boy, talk about a close finish.
Wow.
There he is, guys. Ken Peterson climbing out. It's been a long year and a half here. We're talking to your brother Ron, putting this thing together, but coming out here against one of the best in Ray SCOLES, and a great race for you guys. Nice job.
I got to owe this all to my brother for the time that he's put in with me, my family for putting up with me, being away from home. But this is our second family. We all work together, and we all help each other. And I love this. This is what it's all about. We finally got number 1, end of the year.
We had a blast out here at the 4-Wheel Jamboree. The New Wave Video Productions crew will go on to the next event to bring you another exciting edition of Lucas Oil on the Edge. Remember, you're not living unless you're on the edge.